Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. With Bitcoin above 34,000, I don't think I need to work at McDonald's anymore. So tonight I want to talk about what's happening with Bitcoin. Are we going to see a pretty positive week for Bitcoin? Well, let's discuss. Let's discuss what's coming. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, but I am a little late today. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, CryptosRUs.com, and maybe OnlyFans if you guys are good. And hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my streams. All right, guys, let's do this. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Any news on the Vegas conference? Soon. Soon. I know I say that a lot, but soon. Soon I will have all the details and everything. Cass, I appreciate it. Everrise community, I don't know who you are, but a lot of people chimed in. I'm on Twitter. All right, so let's change my screen here. Like I said, well, you know what? We're seeing a good rise tonight. Bitcoin is above 34,000 again, so I can finally quit that job, that second job I've been having for quite some time. You know, I need to build up. I need to get some cash so I could take advantage of these dips. Maybe I won't need to do so anymore. With Bitcoin coming up, does this mean that this week we're going to see some tremendous moves? Are we going to see Bitcoin continue to rise up to 41,000? Are we finally going to break out of this range? Well, this could be the week. This could be the week to do so. First of all, we're basically coming out of June now. Remember, last week, the last Friday of every month is usually when we have some turmoil because of expirations. We do have Bitcoin futures expiration from CME and also Bitcoin options expiration, and that occurred already on the 25th. So both expirations are done. So in terms of the market moving or being swayed, because options and futures is gone. So now we're heading into a brand new month. And traditionally in July, it's a good month. It's a good month for Bitcoin. But besides just history, besides options and expirations, no longer holding things back, I did see this graph. Let me show you. Oh shoot, I closed it. I closed it. I gotta find it again. I'll find it again. But there is something that some of you guys may have seen before. While I'm talking, let me try to find it. There is a graph that shows you the incoming stable coins into exchanges. And it is tremendous, which could also indicate that something is coming. And when I say something, I mean like a huge inflow into exchanges. So let me, here we go. So this is what I want to show you guys. So I don't know why I closed that, silly me. But this came out a few days ago. Again, this was during expirations week, so I didn't expect anything big to happen. But this could definitely play a role in this coming week. So you have $2.3 billion worth of Tether inflow into exchanges. This was on the 24th, moving to 25th with the expirations, right? So what is $2.3 billion worth of Tether going to do on exchanges? Well, most likely this is going to go into Bitcoin and altcoins, right? So this could play a big role. And the last time we saw such an inflow this high, this massive, was actually when Tesla decided to get into Bitcoin. That's how that was the last time that we saw this, right? So can we see something like this happen again, where we see a tremendous move finally back up to the 40,000s and beyond this week? Maybe we'll see it this week. Okay, so this is the big thing I want to show you guys now that everything is done. in terms of options and futures and, how that plays into everything. Now we're heading into a new week, and this could play a big, big role. What also could play a big role is this. Shorts are starting to get liquidated. Right now, we're still seeing more long liquidations, but short liquidations are starting to increase like this. You could see 43 million versus 51 million. There's a lot of people that are shorting the market right now. I've always say stay away from leverage, but still, people don't listen. They go long or short, and the shorters have been shorting way, way, way too much. Too much, too long, right? And this could definitely cause a short squeeze. If we do see a move upwards, especially driven by the tether that we just saw, right? It could definitely cause a big short squeeze and move things higher. So that is also in play for this week. So these are things I look forward to. Now, something else that has nothing to do with really crypto, but recently I've been paying attention to the U.S. economic calendar because I want to see what the broader market is doing, right? So I was looking at, okay, what is being announced this week? Of course, we are moving into 4th of July weekend for those of us in the U.S. So going into July 2nd this Friday, it's still, it's not weekend week yet, right? So we still do have a lot of things coming out. So some of these things could be good and also could not be good. Consumer price and consumer confidence index comes out on Tuesday. That could affect things. And unemployment report, or I should say employment report, that is coming out on Wednesday. Then you have initial job claims, right? Manufacturing index, and you have non-farm payrolls and, the real unemployment rate. These things could really drive the overall broader market, right? Whether or not they come out good or bad, right? So we have a lot of things that's also coming out of the broader market. If these turn out to be better than expected, the broader market also rallies. It could definitely help out Bitcoin and overall crypto market. So just wanted to point that out. All right, with that said, looking at overall CMC, Bitcoin dominance came down slightly. One thing I want to note is gas fees is really, really low. Compared to just a month ago, ETH gas fee, the GUI, was much, much higher. Now it's really, really low. So this congestion problem on Ethereum is kind of solving itself, at least temporarily. But overall, we do have a lot of good risers today. And you know what? This is what we want to see, right? We want to see slow and steady rise. Of course, yeah, we would like to see some major pumps and short squeezes, but slow and steady rise back up. And, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. We may not see that V-shaped recovery, but if we just continue slowly and rising and moving forward, right, it may be stale for the next, month or so. Even if it's stale for the next month or so, moving us into August and September, that's okay. That's okay, because that means when September, October, November rolls around, that's when we really start picking up. Now, I want to show you guys this, the portfolio tracker, the new portfolio that I started with, $5,000. Some of you guys saw me build this, right? Look at it. It's up almost $400 already. That's not too shabby. That's within 1 day, I think. 1 day or 2 days. It was not that long ago. I don't know if this actually tells you. I think this is 1 day. Because we started with, it's about 2 days. 2 days. So we started about $5,000. Okay, it dropped to like $4,920 or something. Then this morning it went up to $5,200. And now it's at $5,400. That's $400 within 2 days. That's not too shabby. If you look at a pie chart, Bitcoin dominance, because it went up slightly, Bitcoin is up slightly, 50.6%. But other things are still doing relatively well. Overall, things are moving, together. We don't see Bitcoin percentage really increase that much. So everything is moving together. But again, as I continue to stream every week, I'm a dollar cost average. I don't know what day this coming week I'll add in another $100 just to be consistent every week. Maybe I just choose like Wednesday. Every Wednesday I'll put in another $100, regardless if things are up and down. I just want to show you guys the power of dollar cost averaging over a long haul. I've been showing you guys through the calculator, but I'm going to show you guys, you know, in real time, I guess, with this portfolio that I just built with $5,000. All right. Before I miss anything, Cass, I appreciate that. Eagle Eyes, thank you for that. All right. Too many people, I gotta say, too many people are starting to shill Everrise. All right. I get you guys are excited, but the more you shill it in the chat, the less likely I'm going to believe that's a real project. How it started was I tweeted out asking for any other channel or influencer to come in, and I was going to bring them on tonight because I didn't have a whole lot to talk about. But then we have all these Everrise army that started chiming in, and that's okay if it's a promising project. But if you have this many people shilling at the same time, that throws a caution flag out there saying, be careful. So if it is a legit project, chill, guys. If it's not, then I'm going to find out anyways. So just chill. Just chill. Now, a couple other things I want to talk about. There's not that much to cover, but I did find that Africa does have a blockchain week, a virtual summit 2021, starting tomorrow to July 1st. And why this is significant is because of Cardano. We know Cardano is very, very, very entwined with Africa, especially with their digital ID system. And they're just really trying to build out Cardano and usage, I should say, Cardano usage in Africa. So I don't know if this will, you know, anything big will be announced or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I just want to point that out. Rodney, yeah, I was on Jordan's stream. I'm like, hey, Jordan Cameron. And I'm like, hey, you want to come on as a guest? And he's like, nah, I don't want to. I got something to do. AKA, no, I don't want to come on your stream. So I'm like, all right, fine. Invite withdrawn. No more. I'm just kidding. Jordan seems like a good guy. So eventually I'll get him on this channel. All right, what else is there besides Cardano? We have Theta that's also having mainnet 3.0. That's coming out in less than 3 days. Okay, they've been onboarding enterprise nodes, pretty significantly recently. Few big additions, but obviously mainnet 3.0 brings on upgrades and allows T-Fuel to be staked in elite net edge nodes, which is why Theta and T-Fuel has been doing relatively well recently. We'll see what happens. Whether or not this really pushes them even further higher. What else is there? I saw this. One of the original Dogecoin creators is jumping back into crypto. This is what is it? Billy Marcus. Billy Marcus and I forgot the other guy's name. Oh, Jackson Palmer, right? They started Dogecoin together as a joke. Both of them sold and really not made anything. I believe Jackson Palmer said he just sold everything. He didn't come out with a dime. And I think Billy Marcus sold all of his Dogecoins for a Honda Civic. And they both declared that they were never going to come back into the space again. Well, Billy Marcus changed his mind and he just declared to his 425,000 Twitter followers that he just bought back into Dogecoin using Robinhood. So there's a lot of, I guess there's some question marks because right now in crypto we know, and a lot of people in crypto do not like Robinhood. So his choice of app to use is questionable. He could have chose anything, Coinbase or anything. He's a crypto guy, but he chose Robinhood of all apps to choose. But anyways, and then he said that he was never going to get back in again. But after 8 years, he decided to get in. And as soon as he got in, he started talking about the price. I was up 10% and now it's back up to 3%. Anyways, this seems healthy, right? To come in now into Dogecoin and speculate and talk about gains and price, right, just seems really silly. Both Billy and Jackson could be Dogecoin billionaires right now. Billionaires. Had they not sold their original mine coins, I believe both of them start out, there was no pre-mine or anything. They just started mining. I believe that's the story. But had they kept what they had, they would be billionaires, multi-billionaires. So the irony of that is now one of the founders is coming back in, buying up his own creation after it has gone up tens of billions of dollars, and now talking about how it's up a healthy 3%. To me, that's just very silly and very sad. And I can't even live through that. I don't know how you could live through that. Imagine creating something, okay, and then giving up on it and watching it grow to a 20 or $30 billion project and not own a single token or a single share, right? I can't, and then living through that. It's 8 years is not that long. You know, that I can't do it. I can't even fathom that. I'm not trying to add more like shame to Billy, but I can't comprehend that. What else is there? Harmony. A lot of you guys are Harmony fans. I missed this, but 3 days ago, it turns out that Sushiswap is basically collaborating and putting their whole suite of products on Harmony. Just this morning, I talked about Harmony having a whole DeFi ecosystem come on board, new projects coming on board, but Sushi coming on board is also very significant. And Sushi is very smart. They're across multiple chains now. Not only Ethereum, but Harmony and Phantom. Phantom is another one. And I believe they were going to go into I don't know if it was Polygon or some other one, but I know that they're trying to get across all major chains, and that's very, very positive. Now, lastly, I saw this. I missed this. A lot of you guys know of Raoul Pal, right? Ex-Goldman Sachs guy, really into Bitcoin, but not a Bitcoin Maximus, right? Fud City says, I hate to say it, but I know myself too well. I would kill myself if that happened. Well, just then thank God that it didn't happen to you. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how I would live that. I'm not trying to joke around. I'm like, I seriously, if I missed out on billions because I didn't believe in my own project and just sold, I don't know what I would think. I mean, honestly, that was just crazy. But anyways, Raoul, I guess, got publicly shamed by Max Keiser, who's a Bitcoin maxi. We know that, right? Hold on. I'll let my little puppy out. So Max Keiser, big Bitcoin Maximus, and he likes to call out projects, but he called out Raoul, right? So look at this. I want to publicly thank Max Keiser for abusing me on Twitter, flushing out all the toxic Bitcoiners, Bitconners, new term, allowing me to block a couple hundred to clean up my feed. Cheers, Max. Meanwhile, I love Bitcoin. I love the digital asset space. Onwards. Right, so I was wondering what this was about. I missed it. No one else talked about it. I didn't see any news, anything about this. And then I kept scrolling, and finally found this. Anyone can cut and paste a shitcoin and do a rug pull, but to F people up this big requires an ex-Goldman Sachs talent like Raoul Pal. So I guess this is in reference to ICP. And we know ICP started really, really high, really hot, and since then it has not done well, and it continues to come down. I think today actually rallied up 30-something%, but overall you can see the trend is just down. So I don't know what the story is if Raoul actually talked about ICP and endorsed it, because I mean, a lot of people could go through this mistake where they think it's a promising project, they invest in it, and then it just goes down because the overall market came down, not specifically just ICP, but the entire market. So I don't know the backstory to this, Maybe some of you guys do, so maybe you could chime in, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I mean, overall, my thought is this. Bitcoin maxis are fine. Okay, if you're like Max, you're like Anthony Papagliano, you're Michael Saylor, right? You love Bitcoin, you believe in it, you believe it's the only digital asset that will survive the test of time. That's fine. You know, continue to believe in it. I do too. I think Bitcoin, nothing will surpass it. It will continue to gain value over time. But that doesn't mean that you have to shame everything else. That's what I believe in, because I think altcoins, even though, yeah, you could argue 99% of them are shit coins, but the 1% that still exist, well, the 1% that continues to build, I should say, they're not. They're not. And DeFi, we know, is not going to go away. DeFi is here to stay, and it's only going to evolve. Maybe DeFi comes to Bitcoin, and then it evolves further that way. But right now, we know DeFi is early. It's the start of something, right? And it's only going to grow and blossom. So just with that alone, not to count anything else that's being innovative right now or being created, that alone, you can't say everything is a shitcoin, right? So I don't agree with Bitcoin maxis in that perspective. You could argue most are shitcoins, or 99.9% are, but the 0.1 or the 1% is not. There's a lot of really nice projects out there that continues to build and grow and have really good leadership and traction. They're getting funding, like tons of funding. We're talking about tens to billions of dollars of funding, and that's because others believe in them as well. So hopefully they make up and they get past this. All right, that's pretty much it. Overall, I think this week, that went down significantly. I think that's wrong. But Bitcoin is still, yeah, I don't know what happened there. Bitcoin dominance just jumped up to 50%. I think this is wrong. I don't think Bitcoin dominance jumped up 3% within the last 5 minutes. I think something with CMC has gone haywire. But overall, I think this week could be very positive. I just think that after our original dip, we tested 30,000 like 3 or 4 times now, right? We tested Bitcoin, within this period, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We tested it 5 times, right? It just seems like now that we're out of June, we're coming out of June, out of expirations, out of everything, and the FUD seems to be dying down. Let's not forget, now people are starting to recognize that China mining being pushed out of China is actually a positive thing. So this narrative about, dirty energy or energy usage or China owning most of the mining, that narrative, right, is now becoming positive. People are actually stepping back and saying, hey, it's actually a good thing, right? So the FUD is also dying down. So I think overall, going into July, this could be a very positive month. So we'll see. We'll see starting from tomorrow if we see some good movement building off of what we're seeing today, right? And let's see what happens in July. This morning I talked about the Grayscale lockup, which I think a lot of people are scared of. July, the mid-July, somewhere around there. I think the institutional investors selling GBTC, first of all, if they are selling, it'll be eaten up. Second of all, I don't think as many of them are going to be selling as people are anticipating, because right now it'd be stupid to sell at a loss. So it just doesn't make any sense. So I think that is also a non-issue, but I guess we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's just do a quick Q&A, and then I'll let you guys go. I'm scrolling back up. What do you think about Cartesi? It's a layer 2 scaling solution. I think it's a little overhyped. It got added on Coinbase and it pumped up, but it's like many other layer 2s out there, right? So I don't know how it really stands out. So I think it's an okay project, but not something that I'm terribly excited over. Boots Gaming, love from Jordan's stream. Wish he would have made it. Yeah, don't worry. Eventually he'll get on. George, stop hating Shiba. AMA this week was Certic. That's just a certified as smart contract, but yeah, you know what? I don't think I could. It took me a long time to just warm up to Doge. I don't know if I could do it with Shiba. I'm gonna be honest there. I don't know if I could do it. Let's go back. People are saying ICP is up 50%. It was up like 30%. Yeah, it's up 50%. So it is. Well, see, relatively speaking, because if you look at where it was at 600 before, you can't even notice the 50% increase right now. But if you go 7 days, yeah, pretty good rally. But still, I'm not really sold on ICP. There's some questionable things that I don't like, so I don't know. David asks, could you elaborate your neutral stance on derivative tokens? Derivative tokens, you can't get liquidated. So you're talking about like a 3x long Bitcoin token or 3x long sushi token, 3x long whatever token, Uniswap token. They exist on Binance and KuCoin and other exchanges, Huobi and so forth. First of all, to clarify why UK is trying to shut down Binance, it's not completely. It's supposed to be just on a derivative side. It's because of the derivatives and the leverage and futures and stuff like that. The reason why I'm neutral on them is because even though you can't get liquidated on them, they still move really fast. Really fast. And there's so many out there. Like if you bought in a 3x long, let's say, I don't know. I'm just going to say ICP, for example. I don't even know if one exists on ICP. But if it did, and ICP went down, 70% from its highs, and then you multiply that by 3, you're down like 99% from when you bought it at, right? So even though you're still keeping it, and I know you could continue to hold it, right? But you're still down so substantially more. That's why I'm neutral on it, right? I would love to say that, yeah, when things are down, you could buy a 3x token long so that you could recover faster, but you just don't know, I have heard from people saying that I'm down like 90 or 100, not 100%, 90 plus percent because I'm using a 3x long leverage. So yeah, so that's why I'm still not a bullish on them, still neutral on them. New Money Monday, Oz. Yesterday you called it. You said you think that this week's going to be good so far. Everrise community is sorry. We have thousands of holders who follow you and they're excited. Thanks for everything you do. If you ever want to chat Everrise, let me know. Dr. Crypto. Well, thank you for that. Maybe eventually I'll do some of my own homework on Everrise. Algorand is just one of those projects I hate to say I just don't know enough about. I know I say that about a lot of coins, but it's just one of those blockchains that I just don't hear a lot about. The last thing I heard about Algorand is Exodus Wallet is going to be building some DeFi stuff. I forgot what they're building, but they're building some stuff on Algorand. That was the last thing I heard. Outside of that, I just don't hear that much. So I don't know. But honestly, looking at them, they're 2.6 billion market cap. That's not too bad. I know that Charles from Cardano really loves Algorand. He talks about it all the time, so that's also positive. But I don't know too much of their oncoming or their stuff that's coming from their roadmap or anything like that. Red Wine says Raoul Pal's videos are pretty bad. He makes it sound like BTC ETH is water and air. I don't know what you mean by that. Hold on, I'm scrolling up there. I missed out a lot. DAG for long-term hold. I think that's Constellation, another chain that I'm not too familiar with, but it does seem like it's a good one. It does seem like they have a lot of good stuff going. Going to be amazing. Just Jimmy says going to be amazing week, so look forward to to next month, years. Jordan streams a long time. Man. He streamed for over 2 hours. I used to stream for an hour, and I realized that was too long. You know, so I'm trying to cut it down to like 30, 40 minutes, but still, some people complain it's too long. You know, honestly, people that complain it's too long, they could just leave any time. I don't know why they have to complain it's too long, right? All right, scrolling down. What would you recommend to Ontario investors regarding recent announcements for large exchange being banned? I would say pull out of exchanges that are going to be banned just in case, but usually exchanges give you ample time to get your funds off. Okay, Binance did that for US customers. So everyone, you know, if you're using exchange that will be banned, you probably should get your money off. Now, to where, I don't know. You have to look at what exchanges isn't being banned, right? Yeah, so you just have to see. You just have to see. Sorry, I should have clarified. I'm assuming more of synthetic mirror injective protocol. I don't get what your question is. Whether or not they're good? Synthetic, I'm neutral on. Mirror, I like because they're kind of like synthetic, but they're based on Terra ecosystem. So I kind of like them because of that. I think Terra is a promising growing project. And injective protocol is also in that space. So if you're just looking at synthetic stuff, overall synthetics to me is not exciting. I just feel like it's something that, especially if you're creating a synthetic, if you're trying to tokenize a real life asset, I think it's still too early. If you're tokenizing a coin for DeFi purposes, there's more use for that, but there's so much in this space. So overall, all synthetic token creation projects, I'm kind of neutral on. What else there? What do you think about ETH 2000 and then NZD1 ETH? I have no idea what you're talking about. Can Ethereum go back to 2000? Yes. Can Harmony 1 reach $5 to $10 by 2025? By 2025, the next cycle? Let's just put it this way. If it goes up to 60 cents, it'll be a 6 billion market cap. To go to $6, it will be 60 trillion market cap. My answer is no. I don't believe Harmony is going to be a 60 trillion. No, it'll be 60 billion. I'm sorry, 60 billion, not 60 trillion. 60 billion market cap by 2025. There's a chance, although an off chance, a very little off chance, but there's a chance. There's a chance. BDC needs to break 38,671 since it's 50 days SMA. What thoughts on what happens when it breaks the 50 SMA? You know what? All these lagging indicators and all these previous supports and stuff like that, I don't put too much weight into them. You know, with a little buying pressure, with a little push, Bitcoin combined with short squeeze and everything else that's going on and FOMO can break through these very, very easily. What needs to happen is there needs to be more buying pressure. That's really it, right? Once the FUD dies down and people realize there's really nothing to fear and that Bitcoin is only going to get more popular as more and more users and countries and companies and institutions and banks and financial institutions all jump in, creating services and adoption and usage, people will get back in, right? So about breaking a level here or there or some kind of level, I don't put too much weight into it. VeChain into $3. All right, last few questions. Then I'm going to go. VeChain at $3 possible. It's going to be very hard. To get to 70 cents, it would be at 49 billion already. And then you need to go up. I mean, anything's possible, but within a short time frame, no. No. Is BlockFi safe? I answered that this morning, Terry. I think you asked the very same question. Yes, in my opinion, it is as safe as a lending company can be. They utilize two of the most secure custody services out there with plenty of insurance. That's all you could really look forward to. But is there a risk? Yes, there's always a risk. Is there more risk than, say, putting your funds on a Ledger wallet? Yes. But in terms of like a centralized lending play where you could deposit and earn money and borrow against, BlockFi, in my opinion, is the safest out of the 3 options out there. Dustin says, I could send you $50 super chats. I still be winning against you in the past week. Thank you, you are George. Wait, I don't get it. Is that supposed to be a positive or negative thing? Okay, I'll just take that. I don't know what your point is, but I'll take it. All right, last few questions. I'm trying to scroll up, make sure I don't miss anything. District 0x is not something that I really pay attention to, so I can't really comment on it. Can China miners move to U.S. Canada? Of course, that's what's happening right now. A lot of them are going to move to the U.S. Chili's, very good. Supposedly, their UFC tokens was going to come out by the end of June, but I think that got pushed out. But I do think Chili's, with the UFC and with other sports clubs and football clubs, I think they're going to continue to do well. Do you think VET and VThor will move up considerably by the end of 2022? Yes. Yes, I think so. I think 2021, 2022, and beyond, I think it's going to be very, very positive for VeChain. Thoughts on Tiki token just listed on CMC. Instead of rewards reflected in tokens, in Tiki tokens, that massive difference. It pays out directly in BNB instead of the token. First ever like that revolution in a way. That actually, I think, makes it sounds better, but I don't think that's actually a good thing, because you want people to hold on to Tiki, right? So what they're doing is then they're buying BNB with their Tikis. So, and then they're giving out in Bitcoin and BNB. I actually don't know if that's a good idea. I actually don't think that's a good idea at all. I don't. You gave me that super chat twice, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it does. But to me, I don't think that's a good idea, because in order to buy the BNB, they need to sell Tiki, and that's what you don't want at this point. Blockfolio is showing Theta as a market pair on Kraken. Does that mean it's going to get listed on Kraken? I don't think so. I think it's still banned for U.S. customers. So Flow is like that. Flow is supposed to be on Kraken. It's not available for U.S. customers either. My player on MyCris just scored 101 in 8-minute quarters. Hall of Fame while listening to your stream. Bullish for ETH. Okay, if you say so. If you say so. All right, guys, that's it. I'll let you guys go. Overall, Bitcoin is doing a little better tonight. Can we build upon it? Is this week going to be positive? For me, I think so. Then again, you know what? I've been wrong many times. I know people call me out on it 60% of the time and right all the time. But still, you know what? This week, I think could be good. Overall, I think Bitcoin has been in this range for quite some time. It can continue to be in this range. But with FUD dying down, right? With FUD dying down, stable coins being injected into the market, right? And we still have a lot of positive news about Bitcoin that's just growing and building, and shorts being liquidated. And combine all that, it's about time Bitcoin moves. So we'll see what happens with Bitcoin this week. I think it's going to be positive, but I guess we'll see. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Tune in tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good